Alright, might as well start now. I'm Annie. This is gonna be some Phoenix Wrights. Right before we even start off, someone hit bang donate in the chat. Let's talk briefly about the protests that are currently ongoing around the United States. There are folks fighting all across this nation for the rights of Black and Indigenous Americans, and those rights have been withheld from them. Whether you want to believe that or not, I think it. I don't have anywhere to go from there. It's the damn truth. There are organizations there that are working in support of those protests. I want you to click through those links and see what you can do to help support those organizations and thus support those protests. Black Lives Matter and Indigenous Lives Matter, and that is something that this country has been, and the world at large oftentimes has been just denying for a very, very long time. Alright, before I forget to do that, let's switch over here, and then I'm going to turn down the video capture because I had to re-add it again. None of us have any explanation as to why this is a thing that keeps happening with the audio. Hopefully I sound okay. I did a test before we started. There's no way for me to tell on my end, but since no one's terrified in the chat, I'm assuming I sound okay. Also got to turn down the TV volume. I'm a professional, damn it. I've totally got this all done ahead of time. I don't know why you'd think otherwise, other than the fact that I'm having to do it now. I guess that makes sense. Alright, let's play us some more Phoenix Wright. I've been playing Mario Maker 2 on and off, and that is an excellent, wonderful game. The problem I'm having with it is most of the time, I do not have the inspiration to create levels, so I've created a total of 1. And then I've started on a bunch of others, and then I give up halfway through, and I'm becoming very frustrated with myself. Playing the levels is a lot of fun. Alright, here we are, Episode 3, Turnabout Samurai. Day 1, Investigation. Ah! You've disgraced me for the last time, Steel Samurai! The pale moon in the sky cries for your blood! The moon! No, it is you who should gaze upon the moon! For it will be the last moon you ever see! See you in hell, evil magistrate! Oh! Ah! The warriors' swords gleam and strike in the moonlight. One has fallen, but who? Only the moon knows. Don't miss next week's exciting episode. The Dark Messenger returns. October 14th, 5:31 p.m. Wright & Co. Law Offices. Who here is a Steel Samurai, Mark? That rocked. See you in hell, evil magistrate. Whoa! Whoa! Stop waving that broom around! Oh, Nick, I didn't know you were here. Of course I'm here! What was that surreal show you were watching? What? Nick, you mean you don't know the Steel Samurai? He's only the most popular TV hero for young people. Young? Like, how young? 10 years old? Then what the heck are you doing getting all excited? Hey, I'm only 17. That's 17. See, I'm a teen, not like you, Nick. Hey, don't talk to me like I'm your grandpa or something. I'm only 24. Then watch it with me. He's really cool, and it's really popular. It's Sentai, and it's art. When they asked grade school kids what they wanted to be, Steel Samurai was #1. I really worry about kids these days. Gramps. Well, the Steel Samurai's over. Guess it's time to close up the office. I guess. Wish we had some clients. 24 sounds about right for having finished up law school a year or two ago. A month has passed since my trial. Mia's murder was the talk of the town for some time, but no one paid any attention to the Wright & Co. law offices. How am I going to pay the rent this month? It'll be okay. I'm sure some big client is just around the corner. Huh. October 16, 8:14 a.m. Phoenix Wright's bedroom. Bow, chicka, bow, bow. Wow, that ring did not come through on the mic. I'm impressed. Hello? This is Phoenix. Nick! Mayo, it's still early. It's the Steel Samurai. The Steel Samurai got arrested. Huh? You mean the guy on that show? Yes. They're saying that the Steel Samurai killed a villain. Isn't that what he's supposed to do? Yeah, on TV. Yeah, on TV. No, I mean he actually did it in real life. He skewered a villain with his samurai spear. I have absolutely no idea what you're talking about. This is how I feel when people try and talk to me when I just wake up. Just come to the office quick, please, Nick. October 16, 9:22 a.m. Wright & Co. law offices. Yeah, shaped like a villain on TV. Yeah, shaped like a villain on TV. Maya's here, watching television. Now for the morning news. The actor Will Powers was arrested yesterday. Do you get the joke? Powers plays the lead role in the popular kids show The Steel Samurai Warrior of Neo-Olde Tokyo. He was arrested on suspicion of murder. The victim was Jack Hammer, who plays the villain known as the Evil Magistrate. His body was found still inside the Evil Magistrate costume. The Steel Samurai was also found stuck, or the Samurai Spear was also found stuck through the body. His name is Willpower. You gotta say it quick. Police believe this was the murder weapon and are investigating further. That has to be a joke. No, it's a nightmare. The Steel Samurai is over. The world is over. Yes, Wright & Co. law offices. What? Nick, it's the Steel Samurai. What? Yeah, yes, of course. We'll be right there. Let's go, Nick. Go where? I still haven't had my coffee. They have the Steel Samurai down in detention. So what? So I've decided that this will be our first case. She's storing something for the winter, I think. It's a nice day outside. The hotel across the way is always full these days. There's the bellboy, happily cleaning the room. Love poofy cheeks, enjoy poofy cheeks. Mia's favorite potted plant. Maya's been watering it so much lately it looks a little swollen. She's either trying to make it grow or she's perfecting her water torture technique. A poster of an old movie that Mia liked. I was thinking I should go see it myself. Then I realized that the poster doesn't actually say the title of the movie. Well, that's a problem. He's right, though. There's no text on this poster. There's a horrendous amount of legal books here. Scarier still is the thought that I have to read all of these now. Wait, you hadn't read the law books? Mia's desk. Actually, it's my desk now. Sitting here always makes me feel like a professional. Oh, there's them poofy cheeks again. Look at them poofy cheeks. We don't have enough information to make a case yet. Just admit it. You don't have a clue what happened. No! We just don't have enough information! Right, what I say. Well, what should we do? What should we do? How can you just sit there like that? We have to get down to the detention center and meet the Steel Samurai. Does she want to investigate the case or just do some sightseeing? My money's on sightseeing. Yeah, that totally seems like it. And nothing to do with, like, her childhood hero being in jail. Come on, Phoenix, you ass. October 16, Detention Center, Visitors Room. So ModView doesn't actively update the list of people in chat, which makes it less useful as a mod tool than just regular branch chat. Yeah! It's like very annoying that they implemented this thing that looks way more useful than it actually is. You have to keep opening and closing the list to get it to update, which is better than like on the dashboard, where it just doesn't update except like every 10 minutes, but not by an enormous margin. Enormous margin? She's been dead for years. What's wrong, Maya? It's him, in the flesh. Is that really him? What do you mean, that guy? Of course it's him! Will Powers, our client. That's him! This large, hairy lion of a man. Will Powers, the Steel Samurai. Maybe I shouldn't be saying this? But he definitely did it. Murder. At least once. Maybe twice. I'm completely judging him on his appearance. What a fucker. Whoa, whoa, whoa. What are you saying? Yes? Something wrong. No. This is getting off to a great start. I know. You're disappointed, aren't you? Disappointed? Oh, no. Oh, no. No, it's okay. This is the real me. When I got the part of the Steel Samurai with that mask, I decided I'd never show my face in public until the job was over. It's the kids, you know. I didn't want to wreck their dreams. Never understood this whole thing of everyone being afraid of Will. He seems like an extremely nice and friendly person. He looks like... What's the word I'm looking for? He looks like a chav. I guess a Thundercat? A lumberjack? I guess it didn't matter. He does kind of look like Thick Lion-O, doesn't he? So much for dreams. I wonder what they think of the Steel Samurai now. Nick. What? He's a good guy. I mean, he's good. Yeah? He didn't do it. This guard monitors the visitor's room. He seems frozen in awe of Will Powers. Maybe you could start by telling us what happened. Yes, of course. It seems like it was only yesterday. Oh, actually, it was only yesterday. I don't think he's scary either. I think they're going with a specific stereotype with the tracksuit and everything. I like that they keep finding new ways to lampshade the guard in the static background, right? It's wonderful. The cast, it does all come down to stereotypes is the thing. The Will Powers thing, not the guard. The cast had come down to the Global Studios for a run-through. We went through a few action sequences at 10 that morning. There was a rehearsal scheduled for 5 in the afternoon. But when 5 came around and the staff gathered at the studio, the evil magistrate was found lying in a crumpled heap near the set. They took off his mask and discovered that it was Jack Hammer, dead. He'd been expertly skewered with a samurai spear. The samurai spear? Yeah, it's a long spear that the steel samurai uses as a weapon. Maybe you could explain to me just what the steel samurai is.
Nick, how could you say such a thing? I'm sorry, sir. I apologize for my partner. He's new to this and a bit out of touch with the world.
Hey, who's new to this? No, it's alright, really. The Steel Samurai is the lead character in a popular kids show. He walks the streets of Neo-Olde Tokyo, fighting battle after battle against the evil magistrate and his minions. Of course, he never really defeats the evil magistrate, although I guess he did defeat him this time. I see. Neo-Olde Tokyo. Who comes up with these names? Now, where were you on the day of the murder? Well, that morning I came to the studios at 9. We worked through some action scenes until noon. Rehearsal was to begin at 5, but I was a little tired. So after lunch I took a nap in my dressing room. When I woke up, it was after 5. I was late for the rehearsal. Yeah, I figure he looks very Gaelic. Might as well give him an accent from around that area. Went for the friendliest one I could find. I hurried to the studio and I found everyone looking shocked. They arrested me on the spot and brought me here. It's closer to Irish. It's that Irish-English blend that you get around that around that area. You're close on every account. So he was sleeping the entire afternoon of the murder. It's probably closer to a Newfie accent, honestly, because that's the accent I'm more familiar with. Some action hero. What will the kids think? I think I should probably check out the scene of the murder. Right, Global Studios. I'll draw you a map.
Wow, Nick, let's go.
I'm willing to bet $10 she asks for autographs. I think this is my second favorite case out of the ones I've played. My favorite is the circus. October 16, Global Studios main gate. Timestamp's gone now because shit can happen out of order.
Wow, so this is where they make the Steel Samurai show. Awesome! Aren't you excited?
No, the circus one is in the second game. Hey, you there! My name's Oldbag. That's very subtle, isn't it?
You want in, you gotta go through me. Oh, sorry. We're lawyers.
Oh yeah? Well, that's great. I'm security. And it's my job to make sure gawkers like you stay out.
Gawkers? Gawkers, sightseers, tourists. I know the type. You heard about the incident and came to snoop around. Use today. Wasting. Don't you have job? Lawyers not work like the rest of us? Sounds like a life of ease to the young things of my hippie clothes these days. My own son. Nick? Degenerates! Will I grow up to be like her? Please say no.
I don't know, it's possible.
Hey! Listen when you're being spoken to. Youths today.
You're gonna have to go back over what I mumbled a few times, I think, Xenon. So, what do you do here at the studios?
At Global Studios, we make children's dreams come true. In fact, in my younger days... No, you were a star. Only a little twinkle between the stars here, I'm afraid, dearie. Wow. This place has really gone downhill, you know. But 10 years ago, now that was a studio of dreams. Hammer was a big star back then, too. He was.
Hammer?
The victim, dummy. The evil magistrate. He's been reduced to playing villains now. Not exactly the best material to work with.
Can you tell me about Mr. Will Powers?
He's not a bad kid, but don't be fooled by his mask. You wouldn't want him on the silver screen without it, believe me. You get it? 'Cause he looks scary.
Please, Hammer, don't hurt him.
Little old ladies watching and lose their lunch. That's probably why he thought that the Steel Samurai was his big chance. No one thought he was capable of doing what he did to poor Jack Hammer. We don't know for certain that Will Powers is guilty. Powers? Of course he's guilty. How do I know? I know everything. That's my job.
Also, hi, Andy. Ooh, I need to take something for this phlegm in my throat. Good lord, one sec. Oh good, I still have some gefenicin. Hey, bad road. What kind of person was Jack Hammer?
What kind of person? Oh, if only you knew. Jack Hammer will live on in many hearts as the ultimate action hero. He was simply dashing in the Dynamite Samurai series.
Should I have heard of that?
But there was an accident during filming 5 years ago. He got an unlucky break after that, reduced to playing the villain on a children's program. What's more, I heard they were paying him peanuts. It's enough to make you cry.
Why are you so certain Mr. Powers is the killer?
I was standing right here yesterday, I was here from 1 in the afternoon to 5 when they found the body. Now the studio where the murder took place is to the left here. I've just set myself up an alibi. So if you want to go to the studio, you gotta pass by me. Only one person went by here between 1 and 2:30 when the murder took place.
And that person was Mr. Powers?
Yeah, I saw him.
But Mr. Powers says he was sleeping in his dressing room.
Oh, I'm sure he would say that. He's no fool. But he was the only one that walked by. He's the killer. You can bet your biscuits on it.
Well, hi there, Edgy.
Isn't it about time for you to be heading home? There's nothing to see here. Now move along.
Actually, we're here at Mr. Powers' request.
Huh. I thought you was suspicious looking. Show me a letter of request, and maybe I'll just let you in.
This lady here thinks she owns this place, obviously. Alright, well, let's examine some things. Like this cool van. Looks like a studio van. They probably use it to carry around film equipment. The main entrance to the studio. There was a big scene here yesterday with onlookers pressed up against the gate. An overhead map of the studios. Right from here is the employee area. To the left is the actual film studios. That's what they call it, is the actual film studios. The security guard station. That security lady must like junk food. There's a mountain of it on the desk here. I can see the computer that runs the security cameras. The computer that runs the studio security cameras.
Hey, no touching!
That was weird. For some reason during this game... Oh, I see what happened. I can't move the cursor onto the menu there. I don't think that was a thing on the Wii version. But then it did use a different cursor system since you could point at the screen. Alright, we got some juice. Alright, so I guess we gotta get that letter. So all we have right now is this attorney's badge.
What's that? You giving that to me?
Absolutely not! Always bugged us that this didn't let you use the touchscreen for examining stuff. Oh yeah, in handheld mode, that'd be real useful. Especially since, you know, they've already got the Wii version with the pointer controls. That I believe this is based off of. Hello, how is the studio? They all think I did it, don't they?
No, not at all. Isn't that right, Nick?
Right! Not at all! At worst, you're a suspect. About the security guard at the main gate of the studio. Oh, the security lady.
She's terrible. She called me suspicious looking.
Yes, actually, she said the same thing to me before. Take off that mask, were her words, I believe. She sucks up to all the bigwigs at this studio. But let her see you stumble once and she'll never let up on you.
She's got some nerve.
You're suspicious looking. Do you think you could write up a letter formally requesting my representation? Of course. I already happened to make one while you were out, just now. I just hope this will get me past the security lady. Mr. Powers, you aren't hiding anything from me, are you? What? No, I'd never do that. Earlier, you said that you were sleeping in your dressing room after lunch. Yes, like a baby. But the security lady says she saw you that day. She says she saw you heading toward the scene of the crime. What? That's not possible. I really don't know what to say. I was sleeping, I promise. Mr. Powers, if you want me to help you, you have to tell me the truth. I'm new to this whole lawyer business, and I need every advantage I can get. I know, I'm sorry, but I swear to you, on me mama's grave, I was sleeping. Maybe the security lady only thought she saw me. What did she see? He doesn't seem to be lying. I mean, presumably she saw someone in the steel samurai costume. That seems like the logical explanation. Should I have given him the cowardly lion voice, Alma? Oh, put him up! Ma'am, have a look at this. It's a letter of request from Mr. Powers. Could be anyone in that costume, could even be a boat.
Yeah, I recognize the bold, childish scrawl.
Powers request given to the security lady.
To think he would entrust his fate to youths of such unreliable appearance. Really?
Really?
Anyway, you may pass, but only left from here towards the studios. No going to the right. That's the employee area. No one allowed inside, pal, were my instructions. A good detective told me himself.
Hey, Nick. Huh?
There were maps in the security guard station.
I stole them. Hey, not bad.
Those are 50 cents apiece, thank you.
Well, time to go, Nick.
50 cents!
So now she's just going to be following us around, and we'll have a limited amount of time in each room. And she'll come into the room moaning 50 cents, and if she touches us, we die instantly. Alright, so... we can't go to the right. I was gonna try and go to the right. October 16, Studio 1 entrance.
Hey! Aren't you that murderer from the other day? Ugh!
It's that confused detective.
Hey, pal! You know Prosecutor Edgeworth is all upset and it's your fault!
That's some very loud birds, like holy shit. Y'all hearing these loud-ass birds? They're piped in. They don't want to admit that they don't have any birds cheering for them.
I saw him sipping tea and staring gloomily out the window.
So?
Hey, if he's depressed, it's all your fault for doing sloppy detective work.
Detective? I think you hurt his feelings. Oh no, I'm sorry. Well, I think his feelings are easily hurt. You're right, pal. It's all my fault. I can blame other people all I want, but I know the truth in my heart. Al? One sec. Some weirdness. My grandfather used to have this clock he got off of a commercial on late night TV. It played a different bird call every hour instead of chiming, and it was just the loudest goddamn thing. Oh god, I've seen those before. I can blame other people all I want, but I know the truth in my heart. Oh, now I'm holding the controllers in the wrong hand. It's a grandfather clock. Hey, don't take it so hard. There's always the next case.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Hey, what exactly are you two doing here? Well... We're on this case too, pal.
Huh? Hey, you can't just go around saying pal like that. That's my endearing character trait.
I'd say he's a character, all right. So let's... The investigation. Let's the investigation. So, how is your investigation going, Detective?
Oh, Hey, I can't tell you that, pal.
Nick? Maybe you need to be a little more indirect with your questions. Right, so Detective, mind if I take a look at what you got?
What I got?
The autopsy report. The autopsy report, the latest version, if you please. Right. Sorry about what happened the last time, pal. Oh, I should actually read what that says, huh? Time of death, 10:15 at 2:30 p.m. Cause, pierced through chest by spear. That's a pretty good cause of death. Why was Mr. Powers arrested?
Simple, pal.
The murder took place right over there in Studio 1. Now, the victim entered Studio 1 at approximately 1 p.m. At that time, there was no one other than the victim in the studio. According to the autopsy report, the time of death was 2:30 p.m. Only one person went to the studio between 1 and 2:30. And that person was none other than Will Powers. No one else, pal. If you think I'm lying, ask the security lady at the main gate.
Nick, if that's true...
Well, thank you, whoever that was.
Anyone would think that Powers did it with that kind of evidence.
Thanks for cheering me up. About the security lady. Oh, that sweet old lady. What a charmer. Huh? Are we talking about the same person? When I showed her my badge, she gave me a donut and some coffee.
Remember what Powers said? She's a sucker for authority.
She even got me a piece of valuable evidence.
What?
What kind of evidence? Well, the photo. The photo of the Steel Samurai heading toward the scene of the crime.
What? Who took that?
See the camera up at the gate, pal?
The gate? You mean the one with the welcome sign?
Yeah. Whenever someone walks by, that camera automatically snaps a photo of them.
Oh no! Nick, he has evidence. We're finished.
Funny, for someone with hard proof, he doesn't look too happy. What's wrong, pal? You seem down. Don't look so happy when you say that.
We'd like to ask the employees here some questions.
Sure thing, pal. Go wherever you like. Of course, you're not gonna find any clues I haven't already found. I'm glad someone around here seems to be enjoying themselves.
Nick, let's go. We've got a free pass to the place. Now's our chance to check things out.
Alright, let's use our free pass.
Nick, look, that security lady is in the guard station stuffing her face with donuts. I guess all cops like their donuts.
Yeah, they're soft enough that she doesn't need teeth to chew them. Hey! 'Cause she's old, despite having a great set of teeth. That's what I went with. I'm Phoenix Wright. I forgot to examine, well, I'll do it later.
Hey, you! Well, are you satisfied Powers is guilty yet?
Ugh. She has to make my life harder by giving that photo to Detective Gumshoe. Why didn't you tell us about the security photo, ma'am?
Huh? Oh, that? I just thought it'd be more thrilling to talk with the detective himself. These things are important, you know. Oh, just to the left from here is the gate with the camera that took the photo. It's my job to check the photos every day, you see. This guard station is in a central position. No matter where you go here, you pass by my station first. Now, poor Hammer, he went to the studio just before 1. The murder happened right around 2:30, see? The only one I seen go through here between 1 and 2:30 was Powers himself. The security camera got a good look at him, too. If he's not the one that did it, I don't know who is.
Maybe it was you.
Good one, Sonny.
She thinks I was joking. Was the victim Mr. Hammer, a popular actor?
Oh, he was the biggest star in the studio.
Was? Past tense?
Oh yeah, he was great as the bearded samurai. That too, yes. He shone the brightest back in the day. Making a star like him play the evil magistrate, it's a disgrace, I tells ya. Hammer took it pretty hard, and who can blame him?
About the security camera.
Oh yeah, the camera. It's automatic. It can tell when someone walks through the gate, see? Then it snaps a photo. Apparently, it records the time when it takes the photo too. But I don't bother myself with those details. I just view all the photos on the computer over in the security guard station. I check them every day before going home, I do.
Alright, now let's look around. Hey, there's a camera here.
That's the security camera. It takes photos of people going into the studio. All you gotta do is look at the data and you can see who and where. There's a number plate on the camera.
There's a number plate on the camera. ST1307. That must be the camera ID number. I'm a little bushed. Maybe I'll take a short rest here. Hey, good idea, pal!
Detective, aren't you on the case?
Well, yeah, but... Hey, us detectives get tired of standing around too, pal. The studio mascot. I guess it's a monkey of some kind? But what kind of monkey has a nose like that? He's holding a sign in his hand. Right to Studio 1, left to Studio 2.
What is up with that thing? It looks kind of busted.
Oh, the wind was pretty strong yesterday and the head broke off. Took that tree down with it too.
There's a big welcome sign above the path.
Yeah, apparently the studio's fallen on tough times. They started letting people in on days they ain't filming. They make a bit of extra money by charging admission.
Huh. You sure know a lot about this place, Detective. You know, you could always quit being a detective and work here.
Yeah, and what perfect timing with the studio mascot down for the count. Hey!
Huh? Just what's that supposed to mean, pal?
That's a burn right there. That's what that is. The entrance to Studio 1. This is the studio where they found Jack's body.
Let's go in and check it out, Nick. Hey, it's locked.
Looks like you need a card key to get in. Makes sense that they'd want to keep the non-employees out. October 16, Global Studios, Employee Area.
Nick, this is where they do all the behind-the-scenes stuff.
Hey, look, there's Powers' dressing room. No one's here this soon after the murder, I guess. Let's take a look around. There's a sign by the dressing room door. Will Powers. Must be neat to be the star and have your own room like this. Especially with it just, like, printed on some paper and taped to the wall. Very official. Very, very glorious. The door to the dressing room. It's not locked. Hey, Nick, let's take a look inside. Maybe we can find something as a souvenir. What do you mean, find? You never know. There might be something like this samurai spear. We don't need a spear. And that's the murder weapon. A window into the dressing room. The glass is frosted, so I can't see inside. There's a half-finished backdrop for a stage standing here. Looks like a castle? Probably Neo-Olde Tokyo castle. The metal grate on the drain here has been taken off. That's a pretty big drain. A kid could fit through there, I bet. Yeah, if you snuck in that way, you wouldn't have to pay at the gate. Well, if you want to leave that way, be my guest.
Right. Huh? Hey, I'm not a kid.
Looks like one of those electric-powered bicycles. I don't know about these. I mean, what's the point?
Makes it a lot easier to go up hills.
Don't people cycle to get exercise? That's right, she's a teen. The remains of yesterday's lunch are scattered around. Everyone was probably too shocked to clean up. There's a T-bone on one of the plates minus the steak.
T-bone steak. Meat soup. That would have hit the spot.
You just had a burger.
Yeah, but I have a second stomach just for steaks. What? I mean that literally. I'm an alien. A steak alien.
That must be the storage room. That's where they keep all the film equipment.
Wow, Nick. You know a lot about the industry.
What else would they keep in a film studio? Let's see. Cola, candy, chips, gum. Huh, it's so normal. I don't know. In the US, they don't really usually do vending machines that have cola and candy and chips in them. I was expecting some cool theme snacks or something. You know, popcorn at least.
Wait, look! Samurai soda! Nick, try this.
Ladies first. It might be a thing in Japan, but remember, this is totally set in Los Angeles. October 16, Global Dressing Room, or Global Studios dressing room. Powers' dressing room. So this is where he was sleeping, or at least this is where he claims he was sleeping.
No one actually saw him taking a nap here, did they?
Right, and there's a picture of him near the crime scene. I hope he's telling the truth for his sake. Looks like someone was sleeping here. Maybe Powers did take a nap here yesterday. It's locked. Looks like he doesn't open his window much. Guess it is kind of dusty outside. There's a bunch of snacks on the table. Must give these to the employees. Some tea and cookies. This one's shaped like it's got a bite taken out of it.
Nick, I'm hungry.
You just had a burger.
Yes, but I have a separate stomach for sweets.
How many stomachs does this girl have?
This must be Powers' bag.
Hey, don't open that.
Look.
An employee card key. That must be Powers. It says Studio 1.
Let's take it, Nick.
Borrow. Borrow it. You mean borrow.
Sure.
Shaped like it's got a bite taken out of it. There's a vast array of cosmetics here.
Ooh. This is the wig he used in Samurai Boogie Woogie. Nick, try this on.
No. And how can you tell the name of a show just by looking at a wig?
I kinda like samurai movies.
Kind of. I always have mirrors like this in dressing rooms. See, my hair is still nice and spiky, just how I like it. There's some regular suits in among the costumes here. Those must be his own clothes.
It'd be fun to wear one of the costumes.
I'd say you were already wearing one myself. Anything else?
Oh. I wonder what else is inside the bag.
Stop that! My partner, the thief in training. Is that like my mother, the car? Alright, I think we're done here. Anything change out here? No, doesn't look like it. October 16, Detention Center, Visitors Room.
Apparently they have Mr. Powers in questioning.
Ah, right. Look, pal, that camera takes a picture automatically whenever someone walks by, and it took a picture of Will Powers. I have to ask him about that photograph.
Ah well, let's try again later.
October 16, Wright & Co. law offices.
What's going on, Nick? Powers said he was sleeping in his dressing room, but now there's a photo of him going to the studio?
Don't look at me, how would I know? What do you think?
That photo the detective was talking about is the problem here.
Well, that's hard to say without seeing the actual photo ourselves, but if it is Powers in it, his alibi is shot. Only one person went to the scene of the crime before the murder took place, and there's a photograph to prove it.
I guess it makes sense that that person's the killer then. What do we do now, Nick?
Maybe there was someone else who could have gone to the scene other than Powers. Let's take a look. Maybe that security lady missed someone.
One thing's for sure, if there's any clues, they'll be in that studio.
Anything new out here? No, looks clean. Oh, I guess we can enter the studio now. The entrance to Studio 1. This is the studio where they found Jack Hammer's body.
Let's go in and check it out, Nick.
Wonder if this card key we borrowed from the dressing room will work. It opened.
Alright, we're in.
She's way too happy for someone visiting a crime scene. October 16, Studio 1. What is it? You're real quiet all of a sudden.
Doesn't it give you the shivers, Nick? That white tape, it's so real.
Well, the evil magistrate did die here. It's so real and totally a thing that they do in real life. And not, you know, cartoons. And the steel samurai killed him. Murder weapon was the samurai spear. Sounds pretty real to me. Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you.
No one else has seen.
Okay. The murder weapon was the samurai spear. Sounds pretty real to me.
Rather, everyone's seen. Yes, because everyone.
Yeah. They outlined where Jack Hammer's body laid with tape. His body was found still inside the evil magistrate costume. I guess that's why the head part looks like a helmet. Funny, I expected a spear stabbing would leave at least a few bloodstains. Guess the costume must have absorbed most of it?
Wow, look at that camera. That must cost a ton.
Yeah, so don't touch it.
Whoa, it's heavier than I thought. Hey, you! No touching that!
Sorry, my partner's kind of, you know.
You know? No, I don't know.
Who are you?
Who, me? I'm an assistant here. I help with props and stuff. Moving them around, ordering new ones, etc. We're lawyers representing Mr. Will Powers.
Oh, you're WP's people. WP? Oh, Will Powers, WP, I get it. That's actually longer than just saying Will Powers to say WP, so that's kind of strange. I don't envy you guys one bit. But do what you can for WP, okay? He'd never hurt a fly. He has to be innocent. Don't worry. Leave it to us. Could you tell me anything about the day of the murder?
Yes. I was in the studio the whole day. I was the only assistant on staff that day, you see.
Only one assistant?
Yes, well, the studio isn't doing so well right now. And yesterday was only rehearsal for our action sequences.
Oh, I see. In the morning, we went through the action sequences in the employee area. WP and Hammer were there along with everyone else. The employee area? That's where Powers' dressing room is, right?
Yeah, that's the place.
After eating lunch there, Mr. Hammer went to Studio 1. Then I saw WP go into his dressing room. But I didn't see either of them after that. Did you know that Mr. Powers was sleeping in his room?
No. I wouldn't go in there unless I had some urgent message for him. I mean, it's his private... What kind of girl do you think I am?
The dressing room kind of girl, obviously. Well, what? No, I'm sure you're a fine girl. Sorry. So much for getting a confirmation of Powers' alibi.
What do we do, Nick? We haven't found anything. If WP was the only one who came to the studio, then he has to be the killer. They even have a photograph.
Maybe she pronounces it whoop. I think you might be right.
Sorry. I know you're busy.
Not really. Actually, there's been something bothering me.
Aha! That's what I'm talking about. A clue, a lead.
Well, I don't know about that, but that day, just after noon, I sensed someone was here. You sensed?
Yeah, several times.
Some other studio employees, maybe? No, I don't think so. The only thing we had scheduled was an action scene run-through. I was the only assistant here that day. I have a feeling it was someone from... outside. Really? But wait, if someone had come in here, wouldn't that security lady have noticed? Yeah, you're right. I'm sorry I don't have any better information than that. No, thank you. That helps us a lot. Anything helps. Let's go put that security lady on the spot. So you sensed that someone other than the regular film crew was in the studio? Yeah, I think. Think doesn't cut it in a witness testimony. Nick, what about the security lady? If someone else came into the studio, she must have seen them. Look, a ladder. That's a step ladder. So, what's the difference? You need to stop judging things based on narrow-minded cultural assumptions, Nick. Right, sorry, this girl is out there. So, anytime we see a ladder, well, you'll see. Hey, look, that's the chair the director sits in. I've always wanted to sit in one of these. Hey, Nick, take a look at that. One of those black and white boards they clap at the start of filming. And look, a megaphone. A real, live megaphone. A living megaphone. An anthropomorphic megaphone. Ready, Nick? Action! This girl is more trouble than I thought. What's this? That's for reflecting light. They call it a reflecting screen or something like that. The assistant holds it during filming. Huh. What? Where's your enthusiasm for all things entertainment? Well, lighting's fine, but I want to be the director, or maybe the Steel Samurai? I think she's being serious. They used to do chalk outlines after their investigation was done, specifically for news photographers. Well, that's wild. They don't do it anymore because, you know, that could destroy evidence because it's a bad idea. Thank you very much, Mox.
What? You still here? Really? You look as though you've seen a ghost. What? I saw that suspicious look on your face.
I wanted to ask you again about yesterday. You came here at 1 p.m., correct? And the estimated time of Hammer's death was 2:30. Are you sure that Powers was the only one to go through here between those times?
Sure as can be.
But we have a witness who thinks there was someone from outside here that day.
What?
Are you absolutely sure you were here watching the whole time? Ma'am?
Who was it? Who told you that? Who dares question me? Eek. Alright, you better tell me and tell me quick, you spiky head cretin. Someone's been complaining about the work I do, eh?
You know, I've worked with people like this. Suck up to the people in charge until they can push past them, freak out if anyone suggests that maybe they don't do that good a job, despite not actually doing a lot of work themselves. I've worked with a number of people exactly like this. We were just talking to the assistant in Studio One.
Her? She's not even a full-time employee. Know a thing or two about respecting their elders, crying shame you do, blah 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 blah.
She left. Well, Nick, this is our chance to do what we can without her looking over our shoulders. Oh no, it's the birds. The computer that runs the studio security cameras.
Nick, maybe we can see that photo of Powers with the computer.
Yeah, maybe. Should I try the computer?
Okay, let's give it a try. You know how to work these things, Nick?
Looks like I just have to enter in a few numbers. Let's see. First, I need the date of the murder. Looks like the camera turned on at 1 p.m. that day. 1, that's when the security lady arrived at the guard station. Please enter the number of the security camera. Shit. 370, right? Or was it 307? It was 307? Alright. There, entered.
Hey, it printed out the data for that day.
Let's see what we got. Thank you for fixing that, Christy.
Huh. How is this a picture of Will Powers?
Well, he is the one who always wears the suit. I guess that's why the security lady thought it was him.
I don't imagine the detective was very happy with this photo as evidence. Aw, something's printed on the back.
Ah. October 15, 2 p.m., photo number 2. What does that mean? Maybe there's more photo data from that day.
No, that's the only one in the computer.
Taken at the gate between the entrance and the studios.
Hey, Nick. Can't we use this photo as evidence for the trial?
Yeah, sure. Why not? Well, but apparently anything goes in courts in this world.
We'll put that security lady in her place with this.
Thank you for the clip, Bad Road. What's with the big rope thingy on his back anyway? That is a knot? I can't remember the name of that type of knot, but it's some spiritual thing. I'm not super familiar with it. Katie and Sue used to be into samurai movies, so I picked up a few things, but I don't remember it real well.
Hey, that's what I said. Anyway, let's show her this photo and see what she says.
Wait, let's not.
Why not?
It's never a good idea to reveal your hand to the enemy too soon.
Nick, you're craftier than I gave you credit for. Why, you could be the next evil magistrate.
Hey, why do I have to be the villain?
Relax, it was just a joke. So are we done for today?
I think this photo is what we needed for the trial. Still, it'd be better if we had some idea who the real killer was. Maybe it really is that security lady. To be continued. So we're going to take a quick BRB, and this will be continued after the break. How's that sound? Remember to bang donate in the chat to see some organizations working to help the protests, the Black Rights Matters movements, as well as indigenous... is there a name for the indigenous land movement and such? I don't know that information. But to help the protests for black and indigenous rights all across the country. Those organizations are doing their best to help those groups, and you can help by supporting them. So please, please take a look. And we'll be back in just a few minutes. Don't go anywhere. No jury, Bad Road, just an audience. Speaking of which, I'm back. Got bread stuck in my teeth. All right. Let's get back to this, shall we? No gods, no masters, just audience. Just like here. October 18, 10 a.m., District Court, Courtroom number 4. Court is now in session for the trial of Mr. Will Powers. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Very well, Mr. Edgeworth, your opening statement, please. The prosecution will show the court that at 2:30 p.m. on October 15, the defendant, Mr. Will Powers, killed fellow actor Jack Hammer in Studio One of Global Studios. It is impossible for anyone else to have committed this heinous crime. The evidence presented during the trial will all point to this fact. I see. Very well. I'd like to move on to some testimony. That's kind of where I was going with it, yeah. Mr. Edgeworth, the prosecution may call its first witness. Very well. I call a most familiar face, Detective Gumshoe, to the stand. Detective, if you would briefly describe this case to the court. Yes, sir. I'll explain with the guide map here. To understand this case, it's important to grasp the layout of the studio, see? This here's the employee area. The actors did a run-through of their action scenes during the morning here. This is the main gate of the studios. The security lady that works in the studios was here at 1 p.m. on that day. Past the security station, there's a gate, see? Past that are the studios. And here it is, Studio One. This is the scene of the murder, where the body was found. Now, on the day of the murder, October 15, there was only 3 people here. The victim, Jack Hammer. The defendant, Will Powers, and a young woman, the production assistant, whose name we're not gonna mention. All the production staff were in the employee area until noon. Then after lunch, the victim, Jack Hammer, went to Studio One. Right after that, at 1 p.m., the security lady got to the guard station. Now jump ahead to later that day, 5 p.m. The production staff came to Studio One to perform a rehearsal. Needless to say, the rehearsal was canceled. The time of death was 2:30 p.m. The samurai spear found lodged in the victim's chest was the murder weapon. Her name's Penny something. That's the case in brief. Anyone like to hear that again? Should I listen to that whole thing again? I think I can probably remember that. So the murder weapon was a spear. How medieval! Penny Nichols, gotcha. Couldn't people come in before, but I guess no signs were found. Your Honor, this case is quite simple if you ask one question. And that question is... what did the security lady at the guard station see? Understood. Let's call the security officer to the stand. Look at my glorious cravat in the meantime. Will the witness declare her name?
My, aren't you a handsome fellow? I'm afraid I'm a bit flustered.
Your name, please.
Oh, dearie, no need for you to be embarrassed. Just call me Grandma.
Your name, please. Seems Edgeworth has a bit of trouble getting his witnesses to say their names.
Wendy Oldbag, dearie. Just call me Grandma. So even when I was young, still all the other children, believe it, but there was this club, junior high, called me Old Bag. Well,
objection! I object to the witness's talkativeness. Objection sustained. The witness will refrain from rambling on the stand.
I was getting to the good part, dearie.
Perhaps we can get to the testimony. Now the witness was stationed at the main gate on the day of the murder, correct?
Yes, say I was.
And to get to the scene of the murder, someone would have to pass by you. You know the trial's going well when you have to object to your own witness. Yep.
You know your stuff, dearie.
You may begin your testimony. She sure is one hell of an old bag. Just got that, huh, Bad Road?
On the day of the murder, I arrived at the guard station at 1 p.m. Poor old Hammer and the rest had been doing a run-through there since the morning. I had some errands to run that morning. Anyway, it was 1 when I got to the guard station. I was at the main gate from then until 5. Now, the murder happened at 2:30 p.m., right? Interesting to me, because a certain man walked by me at 2. It was Powers, that man right there, and he was heading toward the studio.
You saw the defendant then? Very well. Let's begin the cross-examination. Mr. Wright? Yes, Your Honor. Cross-examination. I used to think my mom was saying she had some errands around town. No idea what they wanted. So up until that time, anyone who wanted could go into the studio.
Well, there wasn't a security guard at the gate, no. But the main gate was locked, dearie. You'd need an employee card key to get in.
Right, the card key that I have. So what she's saying is no one who wasn't supposed to be there could get in. Was there anyone at the studios when you arrived at the guard station?
Poor old Hammer and the rest had been doing a run-through there since the morning.
A run-through?
They were working out a scene between the Steel Samurai and the evil magistrate. They got the basics figured out by noon and were to use the afternoon for practice. Rehearsal was supposed to start at 5. That's why poor old Hammer went to Studio 1 in the afternoon.
So Powers was in his dressing room sleeping when he was supposed to be practicing. Talk about a laid-back hero. If there was a run-through in the morning, why did you only get there at afternoon?
I had some errands to run that morning.
Hammer certainly got a run-through. Heyo! What kind of errands?
Oh, well, you know.
Answer the question.
Actually, I was watching poor Hammer and Powers. Observing, you know.
Observing? Weren't you supposed to be at the guard station?
Whippersnapper, I told you I locked the gate, didn't I? I did my job.
I'm not sure your boss would see it that way.
Anyway, I always watch Hammer's run-throughs. Always. Never missed one in all my years. Wow, I want to see a Steel Samurai run-through too.
You could quit being a spirit medium and take up guard duty.
Not a bad idea. Anyway, it was 1 when I got to the guard station.
Did you see the victim then?
Did I see poor old Hammer? No. He'd already gone to the studio before I got back to the guard station.
Tell us what happened next.
I was at the main gate from then until 5.
So you were watching there the whole time? No breaks? Not even a second?
Of course! I am a professional, you know. Or are you criticizing how I do my job, whippersnapper?
No, it's just after seeing you eating those donuts in the guard station yesterday.
I can watch the gate and eat donuts at the same time! Snipper-wapper! Snipper whapper. Old Windbag's losing it, Nick.
Why don't you raise an objection? So the witness was on duty through the afternoon, the whole time. Very well. What did you see?
Now, the murder happened at 2:30 p.m., right?
How did you know that?
I have my ways. That overdressed young detective told me. I fed him some donuts and he talked and talked. If you ask me, that detective isn't cut out for his job.
Poor Detective Gumshoe getting ratted out by a security guard.
Interesting to me because a certain man walked right by me at 2.
2? You're sure?
Sure as spit.
Well, who was the man?
Really, you should try not to get so excited at your age. You might strain something. Now, don't get your skivvies all in a bunch. I'll tell you who it was. It was Powers, that man right there, and he was heading toward the studio.
So you saw Mr. Powers?
That's what I said. Got wax in your ears, Sonny. Nick, this is your chance.
Yeah, time to pull out the secret weapon.
I'll say it again. It was him. It was Powers, that man right there, and he was heading toward the studio.
So you saw Mr. Powers? Oh, same thing. Alright, so now is our chance. Let me get this straight, Ms. Oldbag. You've been saying since yesterday that you saw Mr. Powers, correct? But you're talking about the man in this photo, aren't you? Just a moment, Mr. Wright. Let me see that photo. What is this exactly? None other than the Steel Samurai, defender of Neo-Olde Tokyo. Ms. Oldbag, is this the Mr. Powers that you saw?
Of course! Didn't your mama teach you any sense, Sonny? Anyone can plainly see that's Powers, right?
No, they can't! Well, I wonder. True, Mr. Powers does play the role of the Steel Samurai. But that doesn't mean Mr. Powers is the Steel Samurai.
I know that. I wasn't born yesterday.
No one in this court is accusing you of that, witness. Edgeworth is not on our side, but he already knows he's in trouble. He's having trouble calling her old bag, apparently. However, you do not have proof that the person in this photo is Mr. Will Powers, do you?
Huh, nosy old man. Of course I have proof.
What? Huh? Even Edgeworth is surprised. The prosecution would like to ask the witness. Please make known all the information in your possession ahead of time.
How was I to know everyone and be so nosy? You should be ashamed, all of you. Anyway, I showed that photo to the young detective. Young detectives love photos. He told me, "This isn't any good as evidence, pal." He didn't even give it a second look.
Wow, old Windbag has left even Edgeworth speechless. She's good. Let's just hear your proof then. The man in the photo.
I never say anything I don't mean, mind you. That morning, during the run-through of the action scene, I saw Powers trip and fall. He broke one of the props. It was a big mess. Apparently, he sprained his ankle pretty bad. Now look at that picture. You can see he's dragging his leg. See? Clear as day. That's how I know it was Powers. Happy?
So he had sprained his ankle. Very well, Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness. She's got to be hiding something. I'll press her until she squeals. Thank you, Christy.
I never say anything I don't mean, mind you. Whippersnapper! Hey, I haven't said anything yet. I'll have you know I'm not pointing fingers at anyone behind their backs. Everything I've said is on the straight and narrow, the up and up. You today, always whining about each other, pointing. It's enough to make an old...
Mr. Wright, please, for our sakes, try not to upset the witness. I think Edgeworth has met his match.
That morning, during the run-through of the action scene...
Who was present at the run-through?
Well, let's see. There was Powers, he's the Steel Samurai, then poor old Hammer, the evil magistrate, and me.
What exactly were you doing?
Observing. Just observing.
What about the assistant?
Oh, she was off moving backdrops around and such.
So she didn't see the run-through then?
I saw Powers trip and fall.
Trip and fall?
Yeah, and to think he's supposed to be the Steel Samurai. What a laugh! Real heroes don't ever make mistakes. That's ridiculous. So Powers sprained his ankle. I helped make it better for him, of course.
You helped make it better?
I kissed it where it hurt.
Let's just skip over that part, shall we? Hey, Riz. Where was the assistant then?
Oh, her? She was cleaning up backdrops, I think. She didn't know about Powers' ankle.
Huh. You may continue your testimony.
He broke one of the props. It was a big mess. Apparently, he sprained his ankle pretty bad.
He broke a prop?
Sure did. His own samurai spear.
The samurai spear, the murder weapon.
Luckily, I was there with my duct tape to fix it.
This strikes me as a significant detail. I'd better write this down in the court record. A break in the shaft has been mended with duct tape. Was Mr. Powers' ankle badly sprained?
Not so bad that he couldn't walk around. He went to his dressing room to rest up after lunch. Thus the nap. Anyway, I saw him dragging his foot when he walked.
Dragging his foot, okay. I think we've heard enough, haven't we, Your Honor? Well, there is one thing that bothers me, which is, where's the Steel Samurai costume now? Actually, well, we couldn't find it. We're looking though. Oh. Anyway, that's not important. The witness did see the Steel Samurai, yes. And it's clear that the person in the Steel Samurai suit was Mr. Will Powers. Ah, I suppose that's right. Are you sure you're sure, Your Honor? I gotta object. I can't play roundabout here, or turnabout. Edgeworth. Hold it right there. We keep talking possibilities, but we have to agree that this photo shows the Steel Samurai. Nowhere in this photo can we see Mr. Will Powers. Oh. The defense has a point. I also wonder if someone else not caught on camera could have killed Mr. Hammer. We have to consider that possibility also. Then allow me to remove that doubt from your mind, Your Honor. Will the witness continue her testimony, please?
No need to ask twice. The time of poor Hammer's death was 2:30 p.m., true. The only person I saw go to the studio before then was Will Powers. No one else went there. If they had, I would have seen him.
Oh. So if no one else went to the studio, then it would have to be the Steel Samurai who did it. Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness. How did you know that?
Didn't I just explain? I gave donuts to the young detective. And then after some rubbish about it being a secret, pal, he told me everything.
I see Detective Gumshoe shares his fellow officer's fondness for donuts.
The only person I saw go to the studio before then was Will Powers.
Oops. Are you absolutely sure?
Oh, quite, Sonny. Nobody suspicious looking passed by at all.
Nobody suspicious looking. Right.
No one else went there.
What about before you got to the guard station?
You mean before 1? Why, everyone was in the employee area before then. And I locked the main gate so no one could get in. Not to mention, if they had, I would have seen him.
Are you sure? The witness has answered the question. Anyone going into the studio had to pass by the witness.
That's right, Sonny. You let him have it, edgy boy.
Edgy boy? Ugh.
Old Windbag sure has balls, or, well, you know what I mean.
Old windbags have a way of skipping over important details, after all. Or, for that matter, entirely forgetting them.
How convenient.
Something for you to look forward to, perhaps? Come on, Phoenix! Alright. Let's see, what do we got here? So we've got the autopsy report that says time of death was 2:30, pierced through the chest by a spear. Guide map to Global Studios. Goes employee area, dressing room. Gate, you do in fact have to pass by the main gate and go through the camera gate. We got the card key, the grant's entry into Studio 1, which was found in Will's dressing room. Dragging one leg at 2 p.m. And we got the murder weapon. A break in the shaft has been mended with duct tape. Time for poor Emmer's death was 2:30 p.m. The only person I saw go to the studio before then was Will Powers. No one else went there. If they had, I would have seen them. Old Windbag sure has oh. Alright, same dialogue, so there is something to present here. Got the spear there, but there's no duct tape on it. You can clearly see there's no duct tape on it. That is Will's card key, yeah. But I don't know how to present that there's no duct tape on it. Some kind of wrapping on it. I don't see any wrapping on it. I just see a straight shaft. Oh, you mean up by the head. I had assumed that the brake was further down. I don't know where to present the spear. Yeah, there's nowhere to present the spear. Give me a second. I'm trying to figure this out. I know I have the spear in my court record. There is no phrase here I can present it on that makes sense, Bad Road. You have to present evidence to a specific phrase. Let's see. Let's enter into Studio 1. I feel like there's something obvious staring me in the face. The only person I saw go into the studio before then was like, do I just present the photo again that you clearly can't say is Will Powers? It's not obvious, but you have overlooked it. Alright. No one else went there. If they had, I would have seen them. Dragging one leg. Yeah, just give me a hint, because I am not catching this one. See, that's what I was thinking, but it's not letting me look at the back. Oh, but that makes sense. That makes sense, because that shows that there is another photo. Okay, thank you, Fel3. I was seeing it, but I was dismissing it. No one else went there. There we go. Yeah, I was literally looking at that and thinking that, but I couldn't figure out how to present it correctly. Hold on! Look at this photograph one more time. This photo was taken by the camera at the gate for the studios, correct?
Yes, sirree, Sonny.
So whenever anyone passes by there, it automatically takes a picture.
And here I thought you didn't know you head from a hole in the grounds.
Right. Anyway, it's also true that the computer in the guard station records all security cam data.
Ooh, you know, if you wanted to work at the studio, we might have an opening.
That very computer printed out this photo. Note that on the back of the photo are printed the words October 15, 2 p.m., photo number 2.
Even I know that means it was taken at 2 p.m. on October 15th. Really, Sonny?
Actually, I knew that too. The issue here is the bit at the end where it says photo number 2.
Photo number 2?
The computer only held data for one photo on that day. Don't you think that's odd? Shouldn't this photo be photo number 1 if it really was the only photo? Order! Order! Please tell the court what you mean by this, Mr. Wright. Actually, that's what I want to ask the witness. The evidence shows that not 1 but 2 people went to the studio that day, yet there's only data for 1 of the photos. Who could have erased the data for the other photo? Only someone with access. The security lady herself.
Me? You watch your mouth, whippersnapper. The only person I saw that day was Will Powers.
But the camera on the gate fired twice. That means 2 people went by.
Well, yes, that's what it would seem to mean.
Can the witness explain this to the court?
I don't think these newfangled can understand these newfangled computer things. Edsy boy, help.
Ugh! Believe me, I want to. But I don't know what this means either.
Huh, some help you are. You're a whippersnapper too. Whippersnapper.
Something the matter, Miss Oldbag?
Ah, that's right. I just remembered something.
Let me guess. Someone else passed by the gate, someone other than the Steel Samurai.
Well, yes, I suppose you could put it that way.
I see. I'm sensing a pattern with these cases. Your testimony, please. The other person.
Every day after I finish my guard duties, I have one other important job to do. I go through the photos recorded on the security computer and check them. I throw out any photos that aren't suspicious looking, you see. Come to think of it, now I remember throwing out 1 photo that day.
Miss Oldbag, this is the first I've heard of this.
Well, of course, Sonny, I've only just remembered it.
Right. Anyway, Mr. Wright, please begin the cross-examination. Well, I'd say this was a turn for the unexpected, but I kind of expected it. All right. Another job.
That's right. I check all the people that passed by the main gate that day. I look closely at every one of the photos that the security camera takes.
Do you back up all the security camera data?
Well, they keep telling me to, yes, but those computers are just so frustrating. I throw out any photos that aren't suspicious looking, you see. Come to think of it, now I remember throwing out 1 photo that day.
Oh wait, gotta press. How exactly did you determine what isn't suspicious looking?
Oh, you can tell by looking at their faces for the most part.
For the most part? This is a murder trial, Miss Oldbag.
Well, I didn't touch that suspicious looking Will Powers photo, did I?
I think she's missing the point.
Come to think of it, now I remember throwing out 1 photo that day.
Well, who in the heck was in the photo you erased?
Huh, a fanboy.
Fanboy?
Steel Samurai fanboys, real freaks if you ask me. They get information about the rehearsals from gosh knows where. They're always hanging about. 1 was there that day.
Wait a second! Didn't you just say no one else could get in?
I locked the main gate so no one could get in.
Those were your words!
Well, if you must know, there's a drain that goes into the employee area. The grate's been loose for a while. It leads outside, and well, that's where they come in.
They come in through the drain?
I told you they were freaks. Oh, and...
And?
The kids, children. Whippersnappers.
Kids? So on the photo that you erased,
It was a boy, probably second or third grade.
what? Order! Order! Let me get this straight. You saw two people pass by the gate on their way to the studios that day. One was the Steel Samurai dragging his leg. The other was a boy who looked to be in about second or third grade.
Oh yes, well, we see his type there every day. Can't stop him, can't catch him.
A boy in second or third grade? I assume it would be hard, if not impossible, for a young boy to wield the samurai spear. Impossible, I think. It's quite heavy.
Right, as I said, I didn't pay him much mind. That's why I erased the data. Nick, what's going on? I mean, the boy was there, that makes him a suspect.
Yeah, and they're already trying to unsuspect him. This court will take a 5-minute recess. I want the defense and the prosecution to consider this new information. No forgetting vital information this time. October 18, 11:08 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby, number 3. Mr. Powers? Yes? Tell me straight, were you really in your dressing room? You didn't go to the studio. I didn't go to the studio. I was sleeping, honest.
So who was the Steel Samurai in the security photo?
How should I know? The Steel Samurai costume was off in the corner of the dressing room. Anyone could have walked in and took it, really.
What? You should take better care of that stuff.
I couldn't imagine anyone would want to steal a Steel Samurai costume. So where does this leave me? Well, it doesn't look good. You're the only likely suspect, you know.
Nick, what are we gonna do?
First, we play for more time. We'll start by targeting someone else that could conceivably have done this.
Right. And it'll take them so long to shoot us down that we can get another day.
Right. But if we pick the wrong person, we might lose on the spot. You don't sound very optimistic. I'm not optimistic at all, actually.
Hey Nick, it's time.
Okay, let's go. What does that mean? Please don't sigh like that. So what you're saying is he's a thick butts. Court will now reconvene for the trial of Mr. Will Powers. Mr. Edgeworth, will you present the prosecution's thoughts on the matter? The prosecution's thoughts are simple. Nothing has changed. The other person who went to the studios was a boy of roughly 10 years of age. The photo we do have may not be hard evidence, but there is still no one else that could have committed this crime. I call for a verdict of guilty for the defendant, Mr. Will Powers. Very well. Mr. Wright, your thoughts? The defense disagrees with the prosecution's claim. There is another person who could have committed this crime. Order. Interesting. Let's hear who you have in mind. However, be aware that this court does not look kindly on accusing the innocent. If you accuse someone who's obviously innocent, you will be penalized. Right. Great. As if the stakes weren't high enough, now I could get a slap on the wrist. So, who was this person, other than Mr. Powers, that could have committed the murder? I mean, it seems like the assistant girl has gone largely unnoticed. This court does not look kindly on accusing the innocent except for every single case you have ever brought before us, right? It was the assistant. The Steel Samurai costume was in his dressing room. She stole it, and in doing so became the Steel Samurai. So you're saying the Steel Samurai in the picture is really the assistant? That's correct, Your Honor. If you're serious, you've got guts, Mr. Wright. Remember the photo? Wasn't the Steel Samurai a little lame? He was dragging his foot. Bad feeling time. Remember the testimony concerning Powers' injury.
Powers and poor Hammer were at the run-through. Oh, and me.
What about the assistant?
Oh, her. She was cleaning up backdrops, I think. She didn't know about Powers' ankle.
The assistant knew nothing of Mr. Powers' injury. She could look the Steel Samurai with that costume. But she couldn't walk the Steel Samurai walk. She wouldn't have limped. Ugh. That kinda takes the legs out from under that case. Mr. Wright, I'm afraid I have to penalize you as warned. Nobody knows the trouble I've seen. May we move on, Mr. Wright? If you would, Your Honor, one more chance, please. Very well. Go ahead. Let's just load the game. Security lady is the only one that makes sense, right? It was the security lady, Wendy Oldbag. Who? The Steel Samurai is dragging his leg in the picture. That means whoever was in the suit knew about that morning's injury. Maybe because they'd been watching the action scene run through. There was only one person other than Power and Hammers who knew about the injury. The security lady, Oldbag.
What? Whippersnapper?
It's because he appears to be dragging a leg behind him. There's a particular stance that goes along with it, especially since he's leaning on the spear as he goes. Order? Order? Is this true, Oldbag? That stance!
Oldbag, that's Ms. Oldbag to you.
Ms. Oldbag was standing guard alone at the main gate. She was by herself. In other words, she has no alibi. She could have briefly left her post to steal the Steel Samurai costume, then slipped into Studio 1, the scene of the murder. Why would she go through the trouble of wearing the Steel Samurai costume? Simple, Your Honor. She knew the camera at the gate would take her picture. If she was in his costume, she could point the finger at Mr. Powers. I see. Excellent deductive reasoning, Mr. Wright. Oh yeah, right there, Sherlock Holmes II, baby! That's odd. Isn't this the part where Edgeworth pounces? Doesn't he usually jump up with an objection and some new damning evidence? Well, Mr. Edgeworth, does the prosecution have an opinion on this matter? The prosecution has no meaningful objections at this time.
What? What's that supposed to mean? Oh, so you all think I did it, is that it? Edgy boy, don't just sit there, do something.
That's my move. Maybe now's my chance to take this the whole way? The very same reasoning that makes Mr. Powers a suspect in this case. Also, I should point out that Snake's combat stance in MGS3 is just kind of hunched over with his hands up. It's not anything interesting or unique, but it's recognized as being a specific school of martial arts. I know that's irrelevant to the current situation, but I always thought it was very funny. The very same reasoning that makes Mr. Powers a suspect in this case can be used to cast doubt on Ms. Oldbag's actions on that day.
But why would I do something so horrible to poor Hammer?
You forget that Mr. Powers lacks a clear motive too. Indeed. That did it. Now Windbag is one of the suspects. No hard feelings, I hope. Nothing personnel, kid.
Wait just a minute. What about the other person who went to the studio? The boy! The one whose photo I erased.
He's only a grade schooler, though, as you said. 2nd and 3rd grade, was it?
That doesn't matter. When I was that age, I could pin my old man in 10 seconds tops.
Your thoughts, Mr. Wright? That boy's not the killer.
What? How can you be so sure? Or is it be nice to the kids and mean to your elders day, whippersnapper?
I have proof.
Proof?
Indeed. Then let's see the proof, Mr. Wright. You have proof that shows the boy could not have committed the murder? I mean, yeah, the photo clearly shows someone the size of an adult, right? Your Honor, the murder weapon was the samurai spear. That very spear is shown here in this photo. How could the boy have taken the spear? It's impossible. I see. Well, would the witness care to comment on this? Murph! The windbag speechless. This has got to be a first. Very well. This court will suspend proceedings on the current trial for today. Mr. Edgeworth, please find out more about your witness, Ms. Windy. What was your name? Something old bag, Your Honor. Then the prosecution will look further into this old bag before we continue. That's all. This court is adjourned.
Wait a second! I'm not gonna just sit here while you run off barking up the wrong tree. Me! I'm talking!
Oh, great. Stop the presses. The windbag wants to talk. Ms. Oldbag, what is this all about? Have you omitted something from your testimony?
Actually, if you must know, there's something I was told not to talk about.
Not talk about? By whom? Huh? You mean it wasn't Edgeworth who told her not to talk? Well, testify! My lips were sealed.
Global Studios wanted me to keep quiet about something. There were some other people at the studios on the day of the murder. They said they had nothing to do with it, see? So they told me to just pretend they hadn't been at the studios that day. But if you're gonna go accusing me, I'm not letting them get away scot-free.
Ms. Oldbag, this is crucial information. Why did you keep this from the court until now?
Ain't you been listening?
Oh no, I know, Fel3. It's just that the photo also showed that the person with the murder weapon was an adult.
Ain't you listening? They told me to shut my trap and I always do what I'm told.
No, this isn't a bad dream, Your Honor. Witness the power of the old bag. Mr. Wright, your cross-examination. And please, hurry it up. I've got a brunch break. So you were told not to talk?
That's right. By the studio and the TV bigwigs, no less.
Why didn't I hear about this?
Don't be too hard on yourself, Sonny. We were all in on it. There was some other people at the studio on the day of the murder.
Who were these people?
Well, the director and the producer for starters.
The director? We should have known something was fishy. How could they have done a run-through of their action scene without a director? Of course.
Yes, well, I was surprised no one asked about it.
So where were these people?
The director was in the employee area all morning for the run-through. He joined the producer around lunchtime and they had a meeting after that.
Where?
Oh, the Studio 2 trailer.
Studio 2? There was a Studio 2?
Well, if you look at the guide map, here it is. You go through the gate all the way to the left. The path where the monkey's head was falled over?
Well, Mr. Wright, would you like to continue the cross-examination? I've already asked all my questions, but...
They said they had nothing to do with it, see?
Ms. Oldbag, this is a trial for murder.
I know that's silly. Still, they were pretty convincing about having nothing to do with it. And they gave me a little bonus on the side.
So you got your bonus and you still talked. Huh. I've asked all the questions I have to ask. Your Honor, we've learned there were others at Global Studios on the day in question. The director and the producer and some big wigs were all present. Yet, as we stand here, they have not been questioned. I hold that it's impossible to declare a verdict on the defendant, Mr. Powers. Oh. The court acknowledges the defense's point. The prosecution will gather more information about the witness, Ms. Oldbag. Their wigs were fucking huge! And more information about these other people we have just been told of. I understand, Your Honor. This ends the day's proceedings in the trial of Mr. Will Powers. That is all. This court is adjourned. October 18, 1:04 p.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby Number 3. Thank you so much, Mr. Wright. I was right to ask you to defend me.
Really, it's nothing. Or should I?
We'll be going down to the studios to do more investigating. We have to find out more about this director and producer. They'll be turning up in the next trial as witnesses for sure. So now's my chance to get material for the cross-examination.
So, Nick, have we figured out just who it was in that Steel Samurai costume? Could it really have been old Windbag?
What do you think, Mr. Powers? I don't think it was her, really.
Neither do I, Nick.
Yeah, I know. Look, I'm just buying time back there. Someone had to be the bad guy for a bit to take the pressure off Mr. Powers.
Poor old Windbag. I feel kind of sorry for her.
Well, she wasn't winning any points in there, with or without my accusation. Okay, let's get down to the studios.
Right. We'll be back to visit you soon.
Thanks. Thanks, guys. To be continued. And right on time. Thanks everyone for joining. That's been it for this week. Tomorrow is Sue with a game. Thursday is Alice also with a game. Friday is Katie with more Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle. Sunday is Community Day. Monday is Christy with Ice. With what? American Truck Simulator. Hell yeah, trucking time. And Tuesday will be back to me. Hit donate, bang donate in the chat. And you will see those organizations who are helping to keep protesters across the country safe. Black Lives Matter, and those organizations are places that you can donate to help protesters fighting for the lives of Black Americans and Indigenous Americans all across the country. Thanks everyone for your support in whatever way you choose to give it. We are already halfway to our big goal, which is incredible. So I hope we can continue to see that number count up over the course of the month. We have a stream team who are listed below here on the page at truck.community. There's 5 great streamers who all do great streams. And I guess that's it for now. We'll see you later. Bye.